Thank you everyone for joining in. I think that there is a very strong interest in mentoring as a topic, both for us to be mentored and also to mentor others as we have the experience in life and work. And the fact that so many people are continuing to join this group without any action in it, but still a lot of people see it in the community and join it. It tells me that there is a strong interest. However, where we are lacking is in trying to bring people together and being mentored, and those who want to be mentored get that benefit, right? And there's been challenge. So I'm just sharing with Sivai as well. People have reached out to me on one-on-one and for a lot of times for asking for some guidance, either from the work perspective, politics of work, career perspective. But those are the people who have known me and they feel confident, so they want to be mentored, and I've ask them, hey, look, we have people who are willing to guide you on a regular basis. But I think there is a inherent bit of a discomfort, if I may say, in opening up to a stranger, right, or making yourself vulnerable. So that's my reading of it. I just wanted to share the start. Maybe each one of you can share your perspective on what you feel and how you think we can take this forward, because there is a strong need. Though there is, this is like all of you are from supply chain background, this group is actually open to everybody. There are people from finance, people from other walks of life as well. It's not necessarily anything to do with supply chain as a function, but it could be just about any professional career. So whoever wants to go first, I would like to know your views and your suggestions, guidance on how should we take this forward. Sivaya, you want to start since you are on camera?
I can start. I can start.
Sure.
Actually, I have gone through twice mentorship from with the support of my organization.
Okay.
Brought in one is my HR head has done a mentorship for a period of 6 months, and then also gone through from an external personality industry expert has given me a mentorship. Off late it is completed around 6 months back. But what I see mentorship is about, they will show the mirror what you are today and where you can actually improve. What are the possible improvement areas that you can do? They also handhold you that how to manage the failures more than success, because success, managing success is easier because it's not going to give you painful things, but whereas failure is the one which will teach you more at the same time, which needs a lot of courage to face it. But I learned actually through this mentorship, one is that stay strong when you are actually down, and
Mhm.
resilience, that means bouncing back ability when you are, particularly when you are facing staring at a problem or staring at a failure. And these are the two things I learned, and which made me more stronger as compared to before. Because generally, when there is a problem coming, we all feel vulnerable to face that. And what mentor has also helped me to open up myself. What are my inhibitions? What are my limitations? And what are my strengths, weaknesses? Because generally we don't share weakness. Why? Because we feel weakness if we share, they will underscore out, other people underscore us, or we don't get promotion, all that. But when we really open up and disclose it to the mentor can really guide you. Because the
Mm.
weakness is a weakness, that is an only area of improvement. If you never disclose in a whole life, probably you will miss some opportunities that will come in your way. But in the middle of the career, somewhere, if you get a chance to open up, correct it, and then there is a possibility of growing better. Not in the career, but actually as a person, you can grow. What I see from
Right.
the two areas, two parts to the mentorship. One is in the personal life and the professional life. Professional
Mm.
is only, let's say, around 30-35 years of life, but whereas the more of a personal life comes there. You can apply these principles also in the personal life, how to deal with your family members, friends, and your ecosystem, more of it kind of thing. I got immense benefit, and at the same time, some of my mentors made me very comfortable to open up, and they never allowed that any fear in me, and that is actually positive about it. That's what is my understanding on the mentorship is all about.
So, this was excellent. Thanks for sharing your experience. I wanted to know when you started, and especially since this was organized by your company, especially
Mm.
within outsider industry mentor that you had. Uh, Tell us about your early days. When you just met that person, right? Whoever he or she was. How difficult or easy was it for you to open up about your personal life, your inhibitions about your work life, and how did you go about it?
Yeah. The coaching module is like that. They have some psychological tests to just test the
Okay.
behavioral patterns of our
And this was
how.
online test, is it?
No, no, it is a online you can do, but at the same time they have a physical booklet. They gave it to
Physical
us.
book. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on a monthly basis they'll give two or three. It's a easier test because we all answers we know, but how do we respond to a situational thing? Same question is asked twice, thrice in a different ways. How do you
Right.
what generally we do? Typically, I'll tell you as professionals, we don't want to show our weaknesses because we want to
Right.
cover up weaknesses. We were taught in
Mm,
this fashion in India, if you fail that means you are gone kind of thing, but I learned through this mentorship, the more
mm,
you fail in the beginning or a middle of your career, the better is going to you become in the end of your career. But
right.
generally in Indian context, no, you fail twice thrice they write off you in the sense of "Hey, yaar, chalo, ye is not that." But I have learned definitely it's not so. Good managers
Mm,
always encourage a failure. They help you come out of the failure, and because you learn hard way
mm,
to go through those kind of failures again, and you will be more
mm,
successful. What
mm,
is it I learned in that you said mechanism is they'll give a test, they ask us to score yes or no, or how do you 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing, more acceptable, something like that. You get a score. Each score, there's no wrong right answer. Each score has some kind of behavioral reflection to it, right?
right.
Something like that they can do it, and on that basis they'll give guidance to you. Like actually at the time of answering, you don't know what is the which way you will answer, which way you will get the reflected. That means your
Mm,
personality is depicted.
mm,
So what does it mean is that because of that you have to open up, no other choice. Sometimes the answer right you feel is actually going to be dominant nature of you comes out.
mm,
Right. Because at the top, organization don't want a dominant or a like very aggressive candidates, but the candidates who can actually deal with things empathetically with subordinates because the limitations of human beings understanding. So I have seen through these, and because of that, the psychological tests are in such a way you really don't know what is the right answer. Mostly, I believe 90% of times I was it was reflecting my true behavior. So
oh, okay. You
yeah,
you
true
agreed
behavior.
with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agreed with it because I did not deny what the outcome the mentor is able to depict me what I look like. Then we could able after this series of 4, 5, 6, 7 tests, we could able to identify what is the 2 or 3 key areas of improvement which is stopping me from growing further.
Mm,
Right. Those things we took exercises on those areas through maybe a lot of videos are there these days, either in the
mm.
Google or in the YouTube, and if we go through the videos, explain it. How do we take up those videos, learn from those kind of things. So this is how the mentorship has happened. It's not definitely not any technical skill, but it is purely on the
Behavioral.
behavioral and leadership skills. It's
So, at
related to
what point did you start speaking to the mentor? So first was the test, and then you went through the videos, and
how.
so after that you were connected to a mentor, and then you started
No,
speaking. So he
winter.
had all that background.
No, no, he is always there with me in the sense 2 hour session per month kind of scenario. It was the nine
Okay.
sessions or 10 sessions. He was always there, a one-to-one kind of meeting most of the times.
So, and he had the results of your tests. So
Yeah, yeah.
to
He
see
can,
which
he can.
which are
He's
your weaknesses.
actually there itself in the test itself. You aggregate the scores. So how many ones you got, how many fours you got, like that. No,
Right.
based on the total that there is answers also there.
Mm.
Only thing they do not allow you to go to the last page first. They will allow you to go to the sequence so that
Sequential,
you
right?
know. Sometimes what if you know the test before, then you
Mm.
will obviously alter your answers.
Mm.
So that's what is been asked to us. But we during mentorship, I think we should be fair to us. We should not be like no, not giving a wrong answers knowingly, willfully something no. Try to
Mm.
depict what we are not is actually not going to help. To my understanding, we should be more true to ourselves because it is for
Yes.
us basically. The mentor is not going to change your life anyway, your professional career. He'll only help you to move forward in life. So if you
Right.
don't open up like in front of a doctor, you don't
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
give you the right answers. The diagnosis might be not right. Then obviously the prescription is not right. Same thing
Mm.
applies in mentorship also. You should treat mentor as your own in the sense like he is the one who is going to help you, but not find mistakes and tell you. And I've seen both the mentors did not find mistakes in me. They're only trying to understand what I can improve.
Super. Super.
Yeah.
Awesome. Deepa, do you have any question for Sivaya? I think you would be able to relate to a lot of what he said. And
This
any
is
question?
absolutely brilliant. As in the explanation that you gave is
Yeah.
exactly what we intended to do as well. But I mean, the way you articulated is amazing. So
Yeah. Very, very good. Um, Satya, do you want to
Yeah,
go next?
yeah,
I want to know your
yeah.
views on. Yeah.
Sure, Rishi. First of all, thank you very much, Shivaya, and it was
Yeah.
very neatly explained and the essence of mentorship and what exactly the inherent items of that. It's very true, and mm, in my case, we had a little slightly different way of mentorship I have undergone. Our organization has a 360 degrees review mechanism as part of the performance management every year. It's there for the last few years.
Mhm.
In the process, we management gives us an option of having an internal coach or external coach.
Oh,
I had
okay. Mhm.
yeah, I had opted for an external coach,
Mhm.
uh, and if the coach is based out of our place, it is a one-to-one reaction interaction. Otherwise, it is a online sessions. So I had opted for a person of Bangalore based.
Okay.
So he's a famous consultant in this aspect.
So
It,
outside, you meant outside of the Tata Group itself, not just
yeah, the coach
Voltas.
is outside of Tata Group, and he is
Okay.
professional in this aspect.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
we
Great.
had
Go on.
of 6 month sessions every month, one session, online
Mhm.
session.
Six
Uh,
months once.
yeah, 6 months. No, no. Every month, one 6 sessions.
Uh,
The course
okay.
duration,
For 6 months. Okay.
yeah,
Six
six
sessions.
months. So quite pointers, same as Sivaya as highlighted. Most of the points are in that line. But in my case, how he started the session is first pre-session was that they explain what they are about and how their life has gone through their career, etc. uh, how they nurtured themselves. Basically, it is their journey, professional journey, and in that, certain milestones they touch upon related to this mentorship related aspect. Then, when our session starts, what he said, see, I don't want to give you the lecture. Okay, so you please be think and let me know what is that you want. Otherwise it becomes monotonous, etc. uh, so how the methodology how we took Rishi is because by the time I had a two versions of 360 degrees data, so we uh, dwelled into each of the line items for each of the pointer, how the others reacted in terms of all the questionnaires, etc. So every time what he says is, or any mentor says that is, like Sivaya touched upon that you have to be true to yourself. End of the day, it is for your benefit. It's not for the mentor. Okay. The more you open up yourself, and as simply as he Sivaya put up that after going to doctor, if you cannot hide, if you hide anything, you don't get a good prescription. The end of the day, it's a wastage of energy and efforts, and you don't get any benefit of that. So one is that the
True.
person has to be very open-minded, and then results of the mentorship is quite good. So then we started working on those pointers, and then out of my professional experience, which are all the pointers where probably could be lagging me, either in the personal life or in the professional life. So just some pointers to note down. That was some of the exercises we did, and for every situation, he explains uh, the both sides of that, and if anyone faces that situation, what could be the ideal methodology to come out of that.
Mm.
uh, so like that, the conversations used to happen, and in between he used to talk about his experiences. And one of the point of my interest is, see, for example, I talked about the time management. Okay, coincidentally he has worked with Mr. Aditya Puri.
Yeah.
So we heard Mr. Aditya Puri is 8:30 to 5 man. Let the world falls, he doesn't pick up the HDFC calls after 5, something like that is being said that. So then he explains how it is, what was the experiences. So all those practical experiences of them, when we hear, it changes our thought process a lot, and it sits in our mind, and
Mm.
it keeps us ringing whenever we are going in a different direction when going
Mm.
forward. So all such kind of things will help us in the way forward, which were not the case before mentoring. So like that, this has a lot of helps. May not be at that particular point of time.
Mm.
It helps us
It
in many
stays in your mind.
stays in our mind. And earlier, say for example, time management. Earlier, we as a general sentence, we know, no, time is precious, time is gold. We have to do. But once you do this kind of thing, then that generic, it will not be a generic sentence. Then it will be an action oriented thing. So it will be ringing in your mind. Okay, don't do. So the benefits are immense, Rishi. And it one whoever experiences, then they only can know about that.
Yeah,
So
that's a very important thing.
yeah,
Those who have experienced and benefited from it, like Sivaya and
yeah,
you, that's a very good sharing of your own experiences. So
yeah. So
thanks,
like
thanks a lot.
couple of pointers I mentioned in that, in my my own working style, where I felt that probably these are the areas where I'm not efficient, or I'm not able to overcome this. He narrated very well how it can be done, etc., etc. It helps a lot. I mean, the mentorship, the old days, our Indian history, guru is guru. So there is no substitute to guru. Guru can be in any form. It can be a saint, it can be a colleague, it can be a children, or it can be anything. Okay,
That's true.
so mentor is nothing but guru, to my knowledge.
Absolutely. Very well said. And are you mentor to any of the people in the company? Are you doing
Mm,
internally? Not
no,
yet?
no, Rishi. Actually, when you came and asked, then only we got interest of this. Honestly, to all the people, I must appreciate Rishi's efforts. So he
No, I
took
think.
time and meet us and explain this. Let me put one word, Rishi, and your efforts are fabulous and no match. Thank you very much for everything.
Oh, it's too early for that compliment, Satya. Let's make it happen.
Not only mentorship, but I know you for the last several
Yeah,
years. Beyond mentorship,
and
I'm.
Yeah. And now for everything, I consider you also as my guru. So that's the reason I come over and meet you. So for the guidance.
Thank you.
Right. Deepa, any questions for Satya? You're on mute.
You're on mute, Deepa.
Yeah.
Deepa, you're on.
Yeah, I got it. Nothing really, no questions as such. This is exactly the direction in which we wanted to go in. But
Yeah.
the real question is, how do you motivate somebody to be to understand that this a mentor or a mentorship program is something that's going to benefit them? So
Yeah.
see, ideally, we know because we have been through this, and we know that later on in your career that a mentor really helped me in these number of years. But those mid-career, the people who are just starting off in their career, I don't know if they really understand the essence of mentorship. So if there is something that drove you to I understand that was a 360 degrees feedback, and hence you had to be in this program. But other than that, was there any other reason that we could probably put out there so that people will come in?
Okay. So, if I talk about my other professional way, I mean, the day-to-day activities, my colleagues, my
Yes.
subordinates, or my people, what I follow is that no, you have to have a patient listening.
True.
So if you want to counsel, or if you want to bring some change or make them something aware, you can't just go on giving the lecture. This particular, I am happy to say that many of my colleagues who are into this kind of issues, whether they are juniors or little mid way career, this is tried and tested for me. You just have to listen when they are talking to you on certain things. Take them to their personal life, hear it out, bring them back again to the professional path, connect it, and at an appropriate time, if you when you listen so much, you will gaze. There will be one particular point which would be more painful or a kind of mystery to them. So if you catch that point and then from there you narrate, then they fall in line with you. It only you will only come to know when you travel through that journey.
Mm.
That is my experience. Then thereafter, whatever you say, na, they fall in line, and then they will start realizing, yes, this is right. This I have to do. That I have to do. This will I follow.
Correct.
This work for me. I don't know how far it is relevant.
Okay, great. I think let's hear from Saurabh and Dhaval as well. One trend I see both in Sivaya and Satya's case is that it was organization driven. So you do it, and what we are trying to do is, I think Deepa, that's what your question as well was, that we are doing it this outside of the organization, so it's more voluntarily. So let's hear if Saurabh and Dhaval, you would like to share your experience if you've gone through it, if not, your expectations and um, on how this mentoring should be.
Yeah, good afternoon,
Yeah,
everyone.
Saurabh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Rishi, I have gone through a mentorship program around during the pre-COVID session. It was
Okay.
named in the organization as a leadership advancement program.
Okay.
So wherein around 20-25 people were identified in the organization so that they can be a part of future leaders in the organization. And it was done by an external agency called Mercer. So
Mm.
as Sivaya and Satya told, there was a psychometric test so that the true personality of one, it comes out how the person is, what are his weakness and strengths in terms of his behavior, and not and it was not about the technical skills and other things.
Mm.
And then they have given numerous activities and how the person is performing within that group. They made do around 7-8 activities. It was a 3 days program, and they were analyzing how the person is performing within groups. So, and every time for a different activity, the group used to change. Suppose there were 5 activities, so all my team members in each activity will be different. So, how you are interacting, how what is your, whether you are an inborn leader or whether you are sitting quietly, whether you are an introvert or extrovert. That's my thing, that they were trying to identify what is your personality. Thereafter, there was a one-to-one session with the mentor, wherein it was around 2.5 sessions. And on the basis of that, they have given us outcome, means how the person is performing in terms of different aspects. And then this was given to the handed over to the HR department, and it was then taken care by the HR department, saying that okay, this was the outcome of the test which has been done, a personality development outcome from the Mercer, and you have to work on these things. Means you are good in these particular things, and however you need improvements in other areas. So how you can work on other areas. So that was the
But was any
thought
coach
process.
assigned to you to navigate through those weaknesses?
Basically, the
HR.
head,
Oh, your
HR was there.
department head. Okay.
Department
Okay.
head and HR. So there was a monthly review, and the
Hmm.
exercise went for 6 months.
6 months.
But later I found out that it was more of a KRA of HR team. That
That-
was my, not only my experience, but experience of other people also in the organization.
Hmm.
Because the way the psychometric test was okay, that was not an issue. But what people used to say that for observing a person for 4 to 5 different activities and giving a judgment, it's not the right way to do it.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough. So, Saurabh, would you want to have a mentor for yourself outside of your organization? Maybe somebody and whom you think you'd be willing to open up and ask for guidance, whether it's your career related topics or your personal wherever you think you need support. You and what is your expectation when you joined this group, when you saw this being created? Um, what was your thoughts, and how would you want? I just want to know your thought process. Would you be willing, and do you feel the need for that kind of guidance from somebody who's unbiased to you and can give you an unbiased advice?
Mhm. Rishi, coming to me first, I would like to say that yeah, it's we have to learn at the end of our life also, till the last day we are living. So learning is a continuous process, as we say.
Hmm.
So mentoring is always good for the people, and sharing the experience of other, as Satya and Shivaya told, it's always good.
Hmm.
However, I would say that instead of an internal person, the person should be external, because the views definitely come in an unbiased way.
Right,
Because when
right,
whenever the person is internal, so the mentee always wants some personal benefits out of the mentor, even though if he's not
right.
getting promoted or he wants to switch to a different function. So he relates all these things. So whenever the mentor is external, so he will not be, means within the organization, he cannot have any external mentor will not have any influence.
Right. So
Uh,
I totally agree with you. What I also wanted to know was, would you think that people would want to have mentor on their own, irrespective of whether the organization takes initiative or not? As in case of most organizations try to do from HR department. Would people at mid-level want to have mentors and would be keen if to engage on their own to a mentor for their career development?
Definitely, Rishi. I think people will be there, because if you see the way number of online courses are coming, the websites are, people are going for certifications and a number of things for learning. So mentoring is another part wherein the person can improve his or her behavior, because you can get into the technical things very easily by going to YouTube or through different online media. Wherein
Hmm.
mentoring is the space wherein lot of scope is there in the market wherein people are looking for the true mentors.
Right.
So previously, what used to happen when you work, they have good friends, they will open up with each other. So, but this is not the possible in nowadays because the life is too hectic.
Yeah, and friends are only on WhatsApp now.
Yeah.
Right. Deepa, any questions from you? Okay, let's hear from Dhaval. Dhaval, your perspective. Thanks, Saurabh. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi, Rishi. Thanks so much
And
for taking this initiative of bringing us together. I'm sure this is going to be a great success into the future. Early days, I do
let's hope so.
understand, but yes, this
Yeah.
is this had to start, and now we are here. Hi, Deepa. I hope you are doing fine. You are better now. I believe you had some tough
Yeah,
days
thank you
earlier,
so
but I'm
much.
sure you are hale and hearty now. Okay,
I'm absolutely
so
fine. Thank you so much.
great. Okay, so now just to talk about what interested me into coming today to this conversation. So I would talk about two things. One is about vulnerability, and the other is about utility. Okay? So let's talk about vulnerability first, and I'll flash back to my time around in college and picture me and my friends sitting together, just brooding over how our campus placements are going to be, how our future is going to be. There were a lot of jitters around the table, a lot of nervousness, what is going to happen. And I was going into a zone of a bit of too much of a nervousness. What will happen? What will happen? So one of my friends, a very dear friend of mine, he remarked, Dhaval, why do you think you are alone in this? You are not. First of all,
Hmm.
be aware of it. That all the challenges, all the thoughts which are coming into your mind today and even day after or after an year or so, maybe after 5 years down the line, there have been countless people who have gone through that exact or very similar thought process as you are currently doing. So, A, you should not be worried about you being alone in this journey. And that strikes me today when I were to relate that conversation to this activity. I think
Hmm.
one needs to be very vulnerable in terms of sharing their own experiences, whether it is
Hmm.
a mentor or whether it is a mentee. Unless that trust between the two parties is built, it will be very difficult for us to make a mark. And it has to go both ways. Now, how do we match for it is something which will be really the crux of how do we build on it. But being able to understand that the person on the other side of the table or on the other side of the team's call might be feeling the same as you have been doing probably sometime earlier. And that also brings to the question, as somebody was earlier mentioning, that it might not be a person who is senior to you who is your mentor. It could be a person who is junior to you also. There is a
True.
lot of benefit in reverse mentorship also. In fact,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have been trying to make conscious effort to learn from people who are, say, 8 to 10 years younger than me, because I stand to learn on a daily basis from them. And definitely, there are seniors who I look up to. So that's on the vulnerability part. The other part is on the utility part. Basically, it essentially means what's in it for me or XYZ person. And without utility, the long-term sustainability of an activity cannot be ensured. Now, we'll, as a group, have to work towards this also, because at the end of the day, what does it entail to have a partnership between a mentor and mentee which is going to last? Now, it might be a dynamic one, need not be that a X person is matched to a Y person only. It can be a dynamic thing, it can be a rotating thing, or it could be a random thing also. I remember one conversation in which, in my previous organization, the heads of various different geographies had come and they were just sitting down over a discussion table and talking about their experiences during their college days, their initial days when they were, say, sales managers and working in God-forsaken places, and trying to figure out whether they will be even able to see the light of the day at the end of the next quarter of or month and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of that stuff might not have resonated to me at that point of time, but today it does. Today it does. And that's why the utility of those conversations, you can't connect the dots. Steve Jobs had said that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You have to connect the dots only when you can look backwards, and then the utility factor kicks in. So I think we'll have to figure out how does that connection happen in retrospective also, and possibly with the best efficiency as much as possible. That's all I had to say.
Superb. There were some very, very good points, and I think very well articulated as well. Deepa, any more questions to Dhaval? I saw a couple of people trying to join in, and I was happy about it, and then I think they've dropped out before we could catch them. All right. I'm just thinking aloud here, and Deepa, for you as well. You think it would be a good idea to do some kind of a test available to everybody in the group so that they can take the test. So that could be a good starting point of where the the strengths and weaknesses lie. And I think that was the case with both Satya and Sivaya as the organizations do it, and it becomes a good starting point for them to know, and if provided they agree. And I think most of these tests are very well designed, so we like it or not, but we can't deny it, when you look at it honestly. So, and then we can uh, connect with the mentors. At least that would help. Um, I still need ideas on how to motivate people to be vulnerable. I think that's something all of you have mentioned in your talk, that you have to make yourself vulnerable, open up, trust, just like you do to a doctor. Um, these are so important, and yet I find those people who have connected with me on one-on-one, this is their biggest fear, or roadblock in moving ahead. So how do we go about doing this? Because this is not coming from HR, it is not coming from organizations, so it's totally voluntary. And the fact that people are there in the group, they want it. But how do we bridge that gap? How do we create that confidence that, hey, look, this is for your own good. We are trying to do something, together. Take that first step. And this is, mentors won't have an issue. It's the mentees who need help would have issue. So any ideas from anybody on how should we go about doing this? We tried to create an app forum, and we had to pull it out because nobody was joining in, and we were spending money on it. So we thought probably it's a bit too early for that, and let's warm up to a platform before we get there. Um, any thoughts, any from four of you?
Rishi, honestly, I have no clear thoughts on it.
Dhaval?
Rishi, I was wondering, what if, say, for example, I don't know whether this is a good idea or not, we start with an informal anonymous forum mentioning this was an incident, what was happening, and what were the, say, situations in which one found oneself to be in, and what were the actions taken and what was the result. Now, might be the result would have not been so great, but what did it lead to learn for that person or individual? What if we do something like that? At least that will be anonymized, at least so that people are not uncomfortable sharing their thoughts.
But we'll need a platform which allows you to be anonymous, and so we like to find a platform.
Well, just a random thought, of course.
Yeah, no, I think that is the biggest fear of identity, right? So definitely, what you're saying makes sense. We need to figure out an anonymity feature that can help people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
And
Rishi, that would be possible. Just to add,
okay.
the way we have employee IDs in the organizations, wherein it's not, it's only HR people know that, this employee ID is specific to this person. So we can have a group wherein the people will be known by their IDs instead of names.
Okay, so instead of asking them to put their name, they can, we can assign a number to them or something like that, an alpha number. Okay. Okay. That's good. Interesting
Mhm.
ideas. Sivaya, you wanted to share something?
Not at this moment, Rishi.
Okay. We have Manas. Manas, can you hear us?
Yes, Rishi. Hi.
Manas, I know you messaged me saying that you are traveling. So are you in a position to share and talk, or you just want to be in a listening mode? We definitely need your views.
Hi, Rishi. I think, I have shared certain views with you already, and thanks for this forum.
Mm.
And I have not, I don't have a background till what extent this discussion has reached till now.
Yeah, I'll
But
just
yes, yes,
I'll probably
please.
just get you up to speed. So everybody was just sharing their own personal experiences at their workplace of mentoring, the program that they have gone through. And these were all very, very interesting. I'm recording this session, by the way, so I can, if everybody permits, we can share it. But the immediate question just before you joined that everybody was sharing the views on how do we motivate people to uh, share their needs for guidance, right?
Correct.
I
Correct.
think we discussed this as well. So people don't want to reveal identity or open up. There is a sense of wanting to be closed on that front. And some of the suggestions here that Dhaval and Saurabh dwelled on was to kind of having an anonymous forum where people are probably their names are not known, either there's some other identity by number or something where they can anonymously share their issues, problems, and ask for suggestions. This is where we are. I think a good idea for you to share your views on what other ideas we can do to
Great.
bridge
Thanks.
this need. Yeah, go ahead. And
Thanks,
you can
Rishi.
quickly
So,
introduce yourself if you don't mind to everybody else.
yeah, hi everyone. This is Manas Sachrekar. I am from a supply chain professional background. I am from Mumbai, and I know Rishi since long. Thanks for his time and again. I would say, in a way, mentorship and guidance also. And coming to the point, I would say, yes, anonymous is something which can be a part. I mean, these are all my views. I hope it can
Yeah, yeah, go
be
ahead.
well validated by all with their own views. So, can be a part as an initial stage to connect with the mentor, definitely. But once we connect with the one mentor, then the mentor mentee kind of a relation, it has to go in a more sustainable way. The only thing is, how do we connect and bridge this gap is a very important point, because as correctly said, me myself, I have never gone through any mentorship. While time and again, every now and then, it has been said that you should have some mentor, so that at least you have a guiding light on that part, or showing some directions. Now I am into my 40s with around 20 years of working professional experience. So even I don't know whether this is the right time to have a mentor, and so such kind of a guidance will also help. And then we can narrow down certain agenda, like when I shared with Rishi is, we can have certain specific close-ended questions, and those can be vetted by all of us, and then that questionnaire becomes more clear to the mentors who intend to be a mentor. And then accordingly, they can actually pick and choose that, okay, this is a suitable mentee for me, where I can guide this mentee to go ahead. uh, I think I take a pause on this part, saying very last word is, last few words is, I still think, for myself personally, if I want to say that, okay, I do need mentorship, but I'm not completely clear, although, that in how, I mean, how do I articulate my specific questionnaire to the mentor, that, okay, I go ahead with this, because maybe myself may not be clear, honestly, how to go ahead on the career aspirations and maybe work life balance both. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice, Manas. I think you have brought about the issues that most people are facing, how to articulate and share your from. And I think more older you get, more difficult it is. I feel, because you want to be less vulnerable as you are rising in the career. I don't know, I may be wrong. Deepa, your views on this, and your any questions to Manas as well, or your own views?
Not really. I really like the point of having the questionnaire. I think that really would help, perhaps.
Yes.
But let's see. I mean, I think good things came out of this forum. It's a great uh, opportunity to know what everybody is thinking. So uh, there's so many things that has come out, and we can see how this can be. Uh, we can dwell on it further and see how this can be done.
Yeah. So is it okay with everybody that we share this recording in the group so that people who have not been able to join or we are not confident, they can at least see it in their privacy, and then we can appeal to them if you're listening right now that you're listening to this recording, that come up with suggestions, and so that we can take this forward. 100 almost 100 people expressing the need, we I think we should address it. And I must also confess at this point that I all my professional life, I felt the need for a mentor, and I think I would have done much better if I had found one. Right. So, and that's where this thought was germinated that most people need it, and in most honesty, rather than HRKRA, which is like more of a tick mark that some exercise needs to be done, but in more honesty and more unbiased way. So, is it okay with everybody that we share this recording in the group?
According to me, it should be Rishi. There should not be any
Thanks. Yeah.
cavities. So
Thanks.
it gives us many people a viewpoint on that.
Yeah.
This
Especially
is my
yours and Sivaya's experience was really, really interesting to know.
yeah. It should not be an issue for me.
Okay. I believe
Yes,
it's
fine. Yeah, it's
yes with everybody. Okay. Also, what we'll do is some very interesting things came out of this call. So Deepa and me will huddle together and see how we can possibly start implementing some of these ideas, and maybe if more suggestions come in during the after we share this recording, we'll try to incorporate that as well. And maybe in some time we huddle back together again as a group and see how we are progressing, and then let's make it happen for all of us.
Yeah,
Any
also,
So,
any
Rishi,
other?
one
Yeah,
point.
go ahead, Mas. Sure.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, maybe I spoke from a perspective of to have a mentorship, but there could be a enlightenment through this sort of a discussion that even I can be a mentor, which I never thought of, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just
Sure.
looking into that directions also.
Sure. I think Dhaval mentioned it very well that the mentorship can come from either way, say your juniors, your seniors, and everybody can be both mentor and mentee to somebody, right? So
Okay,
that's
thanks.
absolutely, absolutely.
Rishi and
Let me
Deepa, one
finish.
suggestion. I think we'll have to market this activity also within the group a bit more, because
Yeah.
whatever we are trying to do has to be into the minds of a lot of different people, which may have different takes on this. In fact,
Yeah.
some of the people might not have even joined this call with the belief that it might make them feel uncomfortable by just joining the call itself. So I think
Hmm.
a bit
Possible.
more messaging on why we are doing it and what is the utility of this on a more regular basis might give us more audience.
Yeah, absolutely, Dhaval. I think totally agree with you. In fact, that's the reason I was trying to do some of the one-on-one calls, and I think I could never reach there to get it. I just ran out of time. I thought it would be a good idea to have those clippings shared on where people are sharing their own experiences and thoughts. But yeah, I think more messaging needs to them. We need to make the group active. And I realized that that's why I initiated this call that's being too silent. Absolutely, Dhaval. Any other thoughts from anybody? Sivaya, Saurabh, closing thoughts before we hang up for today?
I think it's a fair thing to start with. I think someone said that better we promote more because we encourage more people to come, but creating awareness of usefulness of mentorship. I'm sure at every level, not necessarily age or work level, but every level, the mentorship helps you to be in the right shape of mind to take up the assignments. So probably promoting the benefits of mentorship and promoting more mentors as well. So that helps the group to be more dynamic and vibrant in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, sir. Siva. All right. And thanks so much, everybody, for joining in and giving us your 1 hour of weekend. Really, really appreciate it. This shows the passion for the topic from all of you. We'll huddle back together again after some time, and in between we will start taking action on this. This has definitely energized me to get going, and I hope Deepa, you too.